Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrathmaulana Mohammadqamaruzzaman Sahab Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Saturday after the Magharib Salat at Darul Uloom Rahimiyya, Bandipora, Kashmir. Saturday, the 3rd of Muharram 1445, corresponding with the English date 22nd of July 2023. Hazratwala starts off this majlis by quoting the hadith, the ayat of the Quran Majid, فَذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ. Remember me and I shall remember you. Hazratwala is saying, Dosto, Buzurgo, Azizo, friends, elders and dear ones. The ayat that I recited, Hazrat Ibn Qayyim and Allama Gongohi, both of them are of the opinion that there is no greater virtue or merit for the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any other verse of the Quran than this particular verse, the verse that I quoted to you. Remember me and I shall remember you. So the hadith says that if he remembers me silently within himself, that's how I will remember me. I will remember him. Now today, who even quotes these ahadith? So when a person remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is actually a dhakir, the one who remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when he remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah remembers him, so he becomes mazkur. So the one who remembers Allah is a zakir, he becomes mazkur. Allah remembers him. And then if he remembers Allah in a gathering amongst people, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remember him in a gathering which is more superior to the gathering of the malaika. Rather, what can we say? We are unaware of the makhluk and the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here on earth. So what can we say about the makhluk and the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that are there with him in his presence? Now this is iman, whatever it is and whatever makhluk are there, iman bil ghaib. So if a person remembers Allah at the time of ease, Allah will remember him at the time of difficulty. So you remember Allah at Rakha, Allah will remember you in Shiddat. You remember Allah Ta'ala in Asani, Allah will remember you in Parishani. Who looks at these ahadith? But we don't want to walk this path, so why will we even read this hadith? Illa mashallah, yes, there are exceptions as well. Today, just a little bit of affluence comes and we forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, I even read it. There are 7 or 8 of these short sentences. I'll just tell you now, if something distasteful comes about in a person's deen or dunya, or something he dislikes or unfortunate, then what does he recite? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So a servant, the banda, will only be a banda and a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the true sense when he fulfills the hukuk, the rights of Allah and the rights of fellow mankind. So a person's rights, if he is in difficulty and musibat, then we should also try and share in the pain that that person is going through. You know, what can I say to you? I write my letter to Hazrathmaulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab in the initial stages, saying to him that I am carrying out 3,000 times Isme Zat, the dhikr of the grand name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his personal name. What can I tell you? He was upset. In what sense? He said, but what are you talking? It starts off The starting point is 6,000. I am saying this here. My children are even sitting here in front of me. فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ. Remember me and I shall remember you. So remember me in ease. I shall remember you at the times of difficulty. Now the Mufassirin have mentioned this here. Shaykhul Hadith, I've been to his halqa or gathering of dhikr. I've been to the gathering of dhikr of Mufti Mahmud Sahab. And then thereafter, when I was called and I went to the khanqa and I heard the dhikr of people, then too also I told the people, i'tidal. Even if you are carrying out dhikr loudly, then in such a loud manner which is decently loud, moderate. Because the deen is that of i'tidal and absolute moderation, no ifrat and no tafreet. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes and he sees the condition of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala at the time of tahajjud, and then he says to him that raise your voice a bit. And then when he hears Umar radiallahu ta'ala's munajat at the time of tahajjud, he says to him, lower your voice a bit, because you are not calling out to a zat or that being who is deaf and cannot hear you. Now all of this here is written in Nurul Anwar. Have a look at it, you'll find it. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, Allah Ta'ala increased him. And Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, Allah Ta'ala asked him to lower it. अब तो न इफरात बाकी है न तफरीत, इश्क कामिल हो गया, मुअतदिल हो गया. Now there is no exaggeration, overdoing it, and not underdoing it also, just disregard complete. Rather, love has been perfected. So I have become now moderate. So the Nabi brought to us this deen which is completely moderate and balanced. So the ilm also mu'tadil, amal also mu'tadil, all in moderation. So when we have this ilm, we'll able to understand that what are the hukuk and what are the rights of parents, what are the rights of fellow people, what are the rights of neighbors. And we should also ask, this the silsila of asking. We should continue asking, and Allah Ta'ala give us that tawfiq. When a person carries out the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bahat masaib dur karte hai. The zikr of Allah has that amount of strength that it wards away so much of musibats and calamities. So remember Allah at the time of ease, and Allah will remember you at the time of difficulty. Carry out Durood Sharif. Rather, Hazrathmaulana is quoting the Malfuz in the statement of Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi, لِكُلِّ عَالِمٍ وِرْدٌ فِيمَا بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ اللَّهِ, that every alim should have some type of wazifa and munajat that is away from everyone else, apart from everyone else. It's him and Allah, بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ اللَّهِ. Hazrathmaulana Abrarul Haq used to say regarding rectification and the correctness of salat, he said it is for all, but much more so for the alim. So the dhikr of Allah, become habitual of it already from now, you will achieve much. So the silsila of the mashayikh will continue. It is coming, it's not for today and yesterday, rather it's coming from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It came to the Sahaba and it is continuing, it's up till today. we should not abandon it so that it will become forgotten. Rather, we should continue it and enhance it, take it and continue with it. So people complain about these things, about being troubled by sihr, by jinnat, by shaitan. But they come and they ask for ta'weez. And what is written in their ta'weez? It is ayat of the Quran Majid. Why do they not recite Quran in the home? When a person recites Quran in the home, the effects of it are tremendous. So Hazrathmaulana then addresses someone just there in front, and he said to him, you said that whatever I want to say, I must just say it, it's fine, it will go and it will pass. So whatever I wanted to say, I just said it now. I just want to tell you something here. You've got your carpet here, but it seems to be very, very decorative. Why, I've done it back at home. Why didn't you take a white piece of cloth and put it and lay it over it? Similarly, here, just right in front of the Kaaba, in front of the wall of the Qibla, you have windows here. Shouldn't you cover it? It distracts the attention of the musalli, whereas salat is absolutely for the remembrance of Allah. In fact, I even said this in front of Hazrat Mufti Mahmud Sahib. So complete your dhikr and do it in a most beautiful way. You're doing something good. Don't create bigar and don't spoil it, and rather let it be with beauty and barakat. Say the words totally, completely and correctly. Allah, Allahu Allah. And say it in a beautiful manner. Say it with the utmost amount of respect in your heart. Hazrathmaulana Abrarul Haq Sahib used to emphasize on this here much about salam. Saying the salam correctly. Assalamu alaikum. Similarly, correcting the incorrect way that people would then give adhan back in that day or in that time. And he would say it fairly. He would not scream or reprimand or shout at that person. But then too, when he used to come, many a times it would happen that the muazzin who was there on duty, how do we say it in our words? He would pack up and run, because he would hear that Hazrathmaulana Abrarul Haq Sahib is here. So, Allah, 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 Jalla Jalaluhu wa Azza Ismuhu. Say it in a beautiful way. Say it with that love, with the respect and the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The name of Allah is so great. Do not make bigar and spoil in it. Say it with the Magharib, the usul, the way it's supposed to be said. I am very happy to come. You people have also listened attentively from your hearts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for that. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil